Okay, this is lesson 101 in Algebra 2. This is going to be a pretty short lesson, so that should set your mind at ease. There's the key formula that we're going to be looking at. This is called percent markups. So what happens is we're looking for the price of an item. So let's say that you go to the grocery store or the department store and you are trying to buy a new phone. Well, the company that's selling this phone paid a certain amount of money for it. Let's say they paid $50. Get this up here. So they paid $50. But they want to make profit. So they mark it up another $50 and they sell it to you for $100. So the purchase price is how much the company paid for it. The markup is how much profit they want to make off of the phone, and the selling price is how much they're expecting you to pay for it. Okay, so those are the three numbers we're going to be looking at, and one of the things they're going to do is they're going to give you different pieces of this and ask you to find the other pieces. So for example, they may ask you to find the purchase price if they tell you the selling price and the markup. They may ask you to find the markup given the purchase price and the selling price. But anyway, there's three pieces to this. They're going to have to give you two of the three in order for you to solve it. So let's just go ahead and leave this formula up there, and let's look at some examples. So example 101.1. The selling price was 48. The markup was 20%. What was the purchase price? Okay, so that's what they're giving you. So the first thing you were going to do is we're going to change our percent to a decimal. So it was 20%, and let's change it to 0.20. And what we've got as far as a purchase price, let's just write it as purchase price. Okay, PP. All right, so our 20%, one of the things that we're going to do is 20% of what? You can't just have 20%. You have to have 20% of something in order to solve these. So it's 20% of the purchase price. And that will always be the case on these. The markup will always be a percent of the purchase price. Sometimes they'll tell you what the purchase price is, sometimes they won't. So let's go ahead and do what we can here. So PP, that's actually 1, right? There's one of those. So if we add these together, we're going to get 1.20 PP, purchase price, equals 48. All right, and then we are going to divide by 1.2, just like we always do to get to solve for our variable. And 48 divided by 1.2 is 40. So that equals the purchase price, which means the company paid $40 for the item. It sold for 48, which means the markup would have been $8. So 40 plus $8 would have been $48, and that's what they sold it for. Okay, and that's what they were asking for. They were asking for the purchase price, and they were asking for the markup here. Okay, so that's all there is to that. So let's go ahead and do example 101.2. So purchase price of the item was $1,800. Okay, and we'll just leave that all there. If the markup was 40% of the selling price, so now they're saying something a little bit different. They're saying the markup was 40% of that. So 0.40 of the selling price, and let's use SP as a selling price. Okay, so they've given us two parts, 1,800, 40% of the selling price, and they're asking us to find the selling price here. All right, so let's go ahead and solve what we have right now. Let's go ahead and move the SPs so that they're together. So we're going to go S1 SP minus 0.40 SPs equals 1800. Okay, so we just got the SPs together, and that equals 0.60 SPs equals 1800, and then we're dividing by 0.60. So we can get rid of that there. So SP equals 1800 divided by 0.60, and you should get 3000. So what is that telling us? That tells us that you are buying the product for $3,000. The company bought it for $800, and they are making a little bit of a profit. They're making a $1,200 profit off of that. So $3,000 minus the $1,200 profit gives me the selling price that they bought it for, which is $1,800. All right, let's look at example 101, and then we will be done with this one. Okay, so 101 says, this is obviously an old book. The sports car retailed, so that's the selling price, $368. Okay. What is the purchase price? So that's what we're looking for. If the car had been marked up 8% of the purchase price. So we're looking at 8% of the purchase price. So it's nice they tell you what you're taking the percent of. Sometimes they're asking you to take 8% of the purchase price, sometimes 8% or a percent of the selling price. So let's go ahead and make 8% a decimal. 0.08. Remember, you just move the decimal place over to. Okay, so then we have 10,368 equals, add those two together, 1.08 purchase price. And then we divide by 1.08. 1.08, those go away. And we have 10,000 divided by 1.08, which is $9,600. And that is the purchase price. So the company paid $9,600 for this car. They marked it up $768, which is going to be the difference between the selling price and the purchase price, and that's how much you bought it for. That is a really good deal if they're only making $768. But anyway, that's it for problem set or for lesson 101 in Algebra 2.